Hey everyone, welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today. We've got a period horror piece for you on deck. Yes, it's a horror film set in the Old West, and it's called Night of the Tommyknockers. Not to be confused with Stephen King's Tommyknockers. No, these are just a bit different. Well, Michael Sue gives us the story of Dirk, who leads a band of bank robbers, and they drift into town looking for a major gold score that they think might be here. But they soon find themselves caught up in a battle between the townsfolk and these evil creatures that want to tear them to shreds, as well as our bandits. And soon the bandits are finding themselves shoulder to shoulder with the townsfolk, fighting against these evil creatures, trying to survive the night. Things get even more complicated with a bloodthirsty bounty hunter that's on the trail of these bandits, and a few of the bandits still want to try to pull off a bank heist amongst the chaos of this battle with the creatures known as Tommyknockers. Yeah, it's always impressive when an indie film tries to do a period piece, especially period horror, and I think they pull it off here. Michael Sue gives us a setting that feels like it's in the Old West. I loved the costuming as well, and everything about it felt like you were in the Old West. You were watching an old Western. So they captured that spirit very well. Now, as far as the horror elements go, they do a good job as well, keeping that feeling of threats throughout, especially when we get to the Tommyknockers and the bank robbers and the town and all that comes together. You really have this feel like at any moment a Tommyknocker could pop out and shred one of our characters. So you've got that constant threat, which I really enjoyed, and everybody's got a bit of a different personality too. They're not all like the same bad guys, except for your title, your marquee actors. Everybody has a slightly different personality that felt accurate for the Old West. Now, as far as the cast of characters and actors they have in here, it's like a who's who of indie horror in this thing. They got everybody in this film. I mean, we've got in here Robert Lasardo, who's always fun to watch as Lucky. They do a great gimmick with his character that I didn't think they'd make and run with throughout the film, but they do, and I'm so glad they did, because I really enjoy seeing Robert Lasardo on screen, and we saw him in Of the Devil even for a short amount of time, and it was great to see him here. Richard Greco getting in front of the camera as Dirk. He's embodying a little bit of Michael Biehn here from like the Terminator of sorts, as far as his cool, well, actually more like Michael Biehn from Tombstone. He felt a bit more like that, but in a good way. I loved his performance in here. I would love to see more about Dirk and his band of bank robbers. They were all very interesting characters, and he really was having fun in this role. Tom Sizemore shows up for a short amount of time in the film because Tom Sizemore is everywhere, and so of course he'd be in here, and it was great to see him in here playing this guy trying to help defend the town. Angela Cole plays the Betsy character. We saw her in Fighting the Sky, and she was solid in here. All the female characters, even the minor female character roles, they felt solid. They felt a bit strong in here, and I like that. I like that they didn't really write them all to be just like damsels in distresses sort of thing. Though some of them do get threatened by some Tommyknockers, unfortunately. Sherry Davis shows up as Pearl. It was always great to see Sherry on screen, as well as Jessica Morrison here as the Julianne Swift character. We saw Morris in Legend of Fall Creek, and here again another strong female character getting to kick some ass, and Julianne Swift does a character is one of those folks who takes it to the Tommyknockers. Then we got Robert Donovan in here as Jim Jonas. Fun to watch him. William Bill Connor as Bill. Go figure. He has a fun role in here. Sean C. Phillips even shows up early as one of the card characters during a poker game, and Alyssa Dowling shows up in here as Mary. We saw her in Axeman and Cutter's Creek. So, and that's just a few of the who's who of indie horror who's in this film. And yeah, I enjoyed it. The Night of the Tommyknockers is a tension-filled period Western horror film that is highly entertaining, especially if you like your indie horror film. It's got a high production value. There are a few head-scratching moments, I will say, in this as far as what the characters do, considering what is going on in the town, especially with the Tommyknockers. So there is that. And they seem to play a little bit loose with the rules of the Tommyknockers, but it didn't take away anything from the story, which I did enjoy. So there you have it. If you like your indie period horror pieces, you're going to want to check this out. Or if you like anyone who's in this film, it should be on your watch list. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Also like, subscribe, bells and whistles, all that here onto YouTube. I thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.